Happy Thursday, everybody. I was just finishing loading in the last few pictures. I know I'm running behind. Hopefully everyone is having a good week so far. This is J&J Video Reacts, and we are reviewing Married at First Sight tonight. Miguel says no, guys. Hell no. We're going to do a little review of what happened last night on Mavs. And hopefully I'm not running too late. Hopefully it works out for some people that I'm running a little bit later. Roe, Vegan Knowledge JJ, Buddha 1000. Where's Wendy Jones been? Wendy, you out there? A Grant? Did I lose my peeps? Where's the J crew? Dolly Bush, where you at, baby girl? Ramsterdam, if you're listening, I'm going to try to do some daytime streams so you can be a part of that, honey. But I'm here, so I will give it a minute to see if anybody knows I'm here, and then I'll go ahead and just start reviewing it because I got a lot to cover on this one. Tonight also is 60 Days In, and that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long because I need to get into that. And Buddha, if you listening, girl, you would never guess who I had almost an hour-long conversation with today. Who has agreed, as Miss Karen has, to come on the show, but right now they're a little bit under the weather, so they're gonna hit me up when they're ready to do it, probably within the next week or two. But yeah, me and Carlos, girl, got into a nice heavy conversation. He's cool as shit. I'm telling you, I'm meeting some of these people that are really, really down to earth and real cool. So yeah, Carlos talked to your girl today for a while and gave me a lot of back tea on that, which I'm not going to spill. I'm going to allow him to spill it when he's willing and able to spill it. But in the meantime, it'll be cool. He can come on and shed some light on who he really is as a person and not necessarily who they edited him to be on the show. So I'm looking forward to that. But Carlos Jimenez from 60 Days In is a real cool dude, real laid back, and said he will come on here and hang out with us for a little bit. So I will keep you posted on that. As did Maren, I checked in with her and she said when the coast is clear, she will definitely come on the show. So we're going to have some good things coming down the pike, J Crew. Hang in there with me, guys. Hang in there with me. I want to give a special shout out to Jen, my lovely wife. She has been really putting my link out there and getting people to join the you know what? I know for a fact that I loaded that picture, and Restream is on some bullshit. 577 subscribers, J Crew. 577. You know what? I'm gonna reload that. And she went on an all-out feverish pitch to have people join the channel. And so, Jen, I love you, sweetie, and I appreciate you so much. And as you know, we are headed towards 1,000 subscribers. And we are not looking back. I'm hoping that we hit it sometime within the next month. I don't know, man. I tell you what, Carlos gave me a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. He said the last channel he went on had right around the same thing I had, and then after he had been on there, they jumped up to about 2,500. So hopefully we'll have something similar like that happen. And if it doesn't, so what? I enjoyed talking to him. He was real cool. But it's important to shed the real, one thing that I like about Ball Facts. Shout out to Ball Facts. He covers the Ball family. And one of the things that he prides himself on and he's steadfast with is the fact that he tries to shed light on who the Ball family really is and who LeVar Ball really is, as opposed to who people think he is because of how he's been portrayed in the media. And as I start to get people on here and interview, that's all I want to do. I don't want you just to know the reality star. Okay, I want you to know the real person behind, because these channels tend to edit the shit out of these people, and you start to get an idea of who you think they are when really they're not like that at all. So it's important that there are content creators like us out there that put the real light on things and let people see who those real people are behind those edits. There we go. Thank you so much, Jen. We are on our way to 1K, guys. On our way to 1K. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Let's see. And hopefully we will have some people filter in at some point. Okay, so as you can see, we got Lindy and what's up, peeps? We got Lindy and Miguel on the screen. I chose them for the thumbnail because they brought the most drama this week. Who'd have thunk that it would be Lindy and Miguel that had so much drama? This was the golden couple. This was the couple that last week and the week before that and the week before that, they were the first couple to consummate the marriage, and they could do no wrong. Even with Lindy going off and having her meltdowns, Miguel was still in her corner. He was still willing to work it out, even with her refusing to talk about decision day, refusing to say anything that she construed as negative. Miguel said she has this endless pool of forgiveness and grace. I don't have that. And see, here's where we're starting to see where Miguel has lost patience, but we're gonna save that for a minute. Well, I'll save that for a minute. Anybody who is in here or who is listening, do me a favor, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed. And let's get started. So, the first couple I want to talk about, we're going to talk about is Mitch and Kristen. Okay. Mitch and Kristen. You know, I don't think that Mitch and Kristen are as bad as I thought initially. I actually think Mitch and Kristen get each other. And every now and then, Kristen has these meltdowns where she loses control and she lets Mitch have it. But I have to give it to Mitch. We saw Mitch lose it initially when the groomsmen were with him and they were getting dressed and he was getting his hair cut and he didn't like his bow tie. He didn't like the haircut he got. And he was being an asshole, basically. And somehow we managed to not really see that side of Mitch this season. I thought he was going to be a straight up asshole to her. Well, Kristen really has been more hard on him than he has been with her. Okay. But I like where they're going. They start out en route and having a conversation about the meltdown. And Kristen admits to him that she feels like she was more so to blame for how that whole evening went and that it went south. And she apologized to him. And I thought that was cool. She said, I didn't mean to take it that far. And he forgave her. He said, okay, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. You know, I was feeling like you were getting a little bit over the top, saying things that I didn't even actually say out of my mouth, but I was wrong. I shouldn't have talked to your sister behind your back, and I shouldn't have said the things that I said. And I do think that you're beautiful. And I do think that you have it going on. So she took that to heart and she was able to move through and be okay with him after that. So that was good to see them make up. And I thought that was really cool. The next time we see them, besides some interim scenes, I'm sticking mostly to the main points about each couple. Then they have this date where they do some archery. And I thought this was a cool date because whose idea was it? They had the idea to bury the hatchet on some stuff that they've been basically beating a dead horse on. Every time you turn around, they're bringing it up. What is Mitch attracted to Kristen? You know, and then they call it Poolgate, where she literally went off on him and said, does anybody else think that, you know, this is, you know, that I'm like gaslighting him or whatever. But they decided to bury the hatchet. So they wrote down on two pieces of paper. One paper had the word attraction on it, and the other paper had Poolgate on it. And they refer to Poolgate as the night she melted down last week or a couple weeks ago. And they both pinned them onto the targets and shot arrows through them, basically killing those subjects. They are no longer allowed to bring up whether Mitch is attracted to her or not. And they're no longer allowed to bring up any of the bullshit that they've basically been arguing about. You know, him thinking that she's ripping people off if she wants to flip houses and all that stuff. All that's water under the bridge, no more discussion. And I like that was very healthy for them to do that. And every time I think that they're going south, and there's no way in hell this couple's going to make it, they do something to make me think, okay, all right, man, I don't know, maybe they will make it. Maybe Mitch and I want to call her Mindy. Maybe Mitch and Kristen will pull this thing out. Every time I think he's going to snap on her, he accepts her for what she's saying and he gives in to her. So that lets me know he really cares about her, because honestly, Mitch does not seem like the type of guy that would give in to somebody. So yeah, Mitch is cool. He's feeling Kristen. And Kristen is obviously feeling him, because she would have done what Alyssa did and Morgan and rolled out on his ass. Another thing, oh my God, this girl, when she did this impersonation of Mitch, I was in the floor. I was absolutely in the floor. I could not stop laughing. She had him dead on. And the cool thing is, Mitch actually enjoyed it. He was laughing harder than anybody there. And then on top of it, she wore the shirt, Shirtgate, right? She wore the shirt that he bitched so much about that he didn't want to wear. That was crazy. I love the fact that she went with the bald head. She wore his hat. She had the shirt on. And she showed a side of herself that he really enjoyed. And he said, you know, I like this side of her. And see, that's who she really is. She's a jokester, you know, and she's also can be very serious. So, and we've seen both of those sides of him. So I think, honestly, if they just continue to communicate effectively, I think that couple will actually work out. Could go either way, but I'm sort of leaning more towards them working out now. So the next couple we're going to go with is Justin and Alexis. So Justin and Alexis finally consummated their marriage. And, you know, I don't have a whole lot to say about them other than the fact that I think that once they get through these struggles with him wanting too much of her time, so to speak, she claims that he wants too much of her time. He's always wanting her to himself, and she doesn't think that that's fair. She wants to be able to go out and hang out with her girlfriends. Listen, you married, okay? You married the man. So you need to spend time with your husband. You know, I mean, I guess she feels like they're joined at the hip. So she's kind of tired of that. And she wants to be able to venture out. And I feel you. I get that. But you also have to remember you are married. Okay. So if your husband's saying he wants to spend time with you, this is a new marriage. It's not like you guys have been married 25 years and you've been joined at the hip that entire time. No. You just met the guy a month ago. So you can't be that tired of him already. So, but anyway, she said she wants a man who can dominate her in the bedroom because she spends so much time dominating in her business and her work life that she likes to be dominated in the bedroom. And quite frankly, I don't think she got that from old Justin. I think maybe she ended up having to take care of business in the bedroom as well. And you could tell she wasn't feeling that. And she ended up admitting to the girls later on that, yeah, you know, it was like somebody's first time, you know. So I don't know. Jen and I have a theory about it. I don't know. I think Justin got a little bit of sugar in his tank. I think he and Ben had a thing for each other. I'll be honest with you. And his boy is gone. And ever since his boy has been gone, he's been looking pretty sad. So I don't know. Poor Justin. But in any event, they finally consummated the marriage. Good for them. I'm happy for them. And here they are getting ready for the prom, which I thought was, even though Miguel has been having issues with Lindy, he still took the time to plan a prom because she hadn't had a prom when she went to school. She was extremely sheltered and she didn't have a prom when she went to school. So give it up for Alexis with the queen attire. Okay, you go, queen. She looks good there. They look really good together there. Although I don't know what kind of pose he did. He looked like he was more of a diva than she was. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave it alone, Justin. I ain't mad at you. And on to Nate and Stasha. I don't know what's going on with Nate and Stasha, but Nate and Stasha are for Ricky. Can you say freaky? Nate and Stasha are doing some things in the bedroom, guys. Okay. Nate and Stasha are getting it on. Um, they call themselves trying to bless Lindy and Miguel with some advice and some tools, tips and tricks and toys and such, and said, hey, this is something that we do. Why don't you guys try it out? And they let them use their swing. First of all, the fact that they're using the swing and they don't mind putting themselves out there on TV, letting us know they're using the swing. They are having a ball using these toys. I can only imagine. Now, we know we had Sexgate a couple of weeks ago where we had the softcore porn. You know, we looking at Nate pulling the covers up looking like he's getting ready to go down on, I don't know if I should be saying that, on Stasha right there on network television. So we know they gets down. Okay, we saw him in the shower and on the honeymoon. Or was that on the honeymoon? Yeah, that was on the honeymoon. So here's Nate passing the torch on over to Miguel. I don't know if they used it that night. They look like they might have. The next morning they woke up with smiles on their face. So, and we know that Miguel and Lindy, didn't they name that baby McGindy? Probably did use it because one of the problems they don't have is sex. So they probably had some pretty cool makeup sex. Then Nate and Stasha, if it wasn't enough that they handed off the swing, then they've got the vibrating panties. Okay, and Nate hits Stasha off with the vibrator in her panties at the table, and she's trying to she's trying to keep herself together. And this couple is just freaky, guys. They are feeling each other, legit feeling each other, up and down. And this scene had me on the floor as well because she could not hold it together. He kept hitting the button and didn't know how to hit the stop button. And she had to leave the table. And that was hilarious. That was hilarious. So I'm happy for Nate and Stasha. I think they are, with their therapy sessions and all, working things out and having a good time with each other. So I'm glad to see it. I think this couple will make it. I think they will last a long time, and I think they're going to have some beautiful children. So getting to the nitty-gritty couple. They're coming for me, y'all. Come help! They're coming for me. Okay, so Miguel and Lindy. Miguel and Lindy. What are we going to do with Miguel and Lindy? Am I in the right stream? Wait a minute. How come I didn't see that? Wait a minute. Hold on. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm in the right stream. That's weird. I see your comment, Jim, but I don't see it on the restream screen. That made me think I was in the wrong weird. Hmm. Okay, so Miguel and Lindy. Wait a minute. Dude, something is not right. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Miguel and Lindy. Okay, these guys basically had at least 4 fights during the course of this show. And I have to admit, I felt bad for Lindy because she could do no right. And I really feel like Miguel was gaslighting her in this particular episode. He knows that girl gets triggered very easily. And for whatever reason, she could do no right in this episode. And it was crazy because when you look at it, if we start with the first one. Okay. Start with the first one. Okay. He, right before they had the prom, okay, which also, by the way, I thought was an excellent idea. He had a prom for her because she never had a prom. And I thought that was really cool. Everybody looked really nice. Everybody dressed for the occasion and looked really, really cool. And I thought that was a good idea for Miguel. But unfortunately, leading into the prom, Miguel had an issue because he did not like the way that Lindy asked him to take a picture of her. She just wanted a quick selfie. And she said, "Come on, honey, get up and take the picture for me real quick." I did not think that she was being particularly nasty. We've seen Lindy be nasty. She was not being nasty. She did sound like she was joking to me. And he said, "Well, first of all, I don't like that tone you're using." She's like, "Well, babe, I'm just playing with you." And he's like, yeah, no, you're not playing. And I'm like, okay, Miguel, is that you? Like what he was saying, he's like, I don't appreciate your tone. And I thought that he kind of snapped at her unnecessarily. I really didn't think that she was just, because one thing we know about this girl is she doesn't just pop off just to pop off. Usually it's something that triggers her. And she was asking him to take a picture, and I guess he wasn't moving fast enough. She was like, babe, come on. First of all, it was her night. You planned a prom for her, and then you're going to get shitty with her when she asks you to take a picture? That's almost like you might as well have done that on her wedding day. Why would you plan a prom for her? She's feeling like the queen of the ball. She's feeling good about herself and about the relationship, and you shoot her down and tell her, no, I don't, I'm kind of relaxing right now. I don't feel like taking a picture, but I'll go ahead and take it. But I don't like that tone. You set her up for failure right there. She didn't do anything wrong. She was simply asking you to take a picture. And the way that she asked, it sounded to me like she was joking. And then even when she admitted she was joking, he was like, no, I don't think you were joking. It doesn't sound like you were joking. Well, I think you were on your period, Miguel, because we're not used to seeing that side of Miguel. Then, fight number 2. They go on a date. He plans a nice little carriage ride because she's never done that before. And then she happens to notice some rabbits and things along the road. And I guess she interrupted him. He wrote a little rap for her. I guess he thinks he's some kind of rapper. And he started rapping, and she got sidetracked and distracted by something. Okay, you're on a vacation, you're on a retreat. She's seeing animals on the side of the road. That's not a normal thing. You can rap to her anytime. You could have rapped once you got back to the retreat. But the fact that she didn't just drop everything and forget about her surroundings and just was staring down his throat as he was rapping, he caught an attitude. He was acting like a spoiled child all weekend. If he didn't get her undivided attention, he caught a too. And I'm like, whoa, this is a side of him. And even he admitted, when I get negative, I can be very moody and bitchy. Yeah, we saw that. No duh. We definitely saw that side of you this weekend. And I guess this is his way of proving to her, because, now that I think about it, Miss Infinite Pool of Grace didn't seem like she had too much grace this weekend, because she seemed like she was ready to roll out. Lindy was like, I'm done. I don't know what else I can do for you. But what happened to, I don't care what's going on, we need to be able to work it out? Or does that just apply to you? Like, you need to be able to yell and scream when you want to, but when Miguel kind of is in his feelings a little bit and he's had a hard week at work and he's a little moody, it's not okay for him to show an attitude. It's okay for you, though, because we've been warned that you have this level that we have yet to see. But when Miguel gets in that zone, it's not okay. I don't know, just playing devil's advocate right there. Just play a little bit of devil's advocate. I'm really pissed at Miguel in this particular review, because I think he did not really give her an opportunity to this weekend to have some grace, because he was on her every 5 minutes about some one thing or another. But I just wanted to point that out, because she was the one that said, no matter what's going on, we should be able to stay together and work it out. But this weekend, she seemed like she was ready to just throw in the towel on the relationship because she couldn't make Miguel happy. So anyway, this was fight number 2. He didn't like the fact that she dropped her attention span and went off talking about something on the side of the road and didn't pay him any attention. He even looks like a petulant child right here. Like, yeah, I didn't have your undivided attention. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, Miguel. All right. So then she walks off and talks to production. She starts crying. I think this is the first time she started crying. Then, fight number 3. They're getting ready to go in, I guess, for dinner with the rest of the gang. And Lindy decides that she wants somebody to film her walking along the ledge. I guess she's maybe this is for her Instagram, or she's trying to get a modeling job. I don't know. But she said, I know who I'm not going to ask to take this picture or to film me. And that is my husband, because he gave me a lot of shit the last time I asked him. So you could say she was gaslighting him. You could say she's like, okay, motherfucker, I got you. You don't want me to ask you to take a picture. So yeah, no, I'm going to ask the production crew to take it. He didn't like that. 2 schools of thought here. Was she gaslighting him and kind of paying him back? Because he was easily just sitting right there. She could have said, babe, okay, so you all right to take a picture real quick? That's all it took. That would have been all it took for her to do. And he would have probably gladly done it. And that would have avoided this fight. But she low-key wanted to get back at him for getting in her ass. So she purposely went out of her way to ask someone, oh, yeah, what? No, you know what? No, I'm not going to ask you because I don't want to offend you. She said, I don't want to offend you. So I'm like, okay, Lindy. And normally, Miguel would have laughed it off or shrugged it off. Okay, well, whatever. Look at his face. He was not having any of her shit this weekend. He is pissed at her. And he says, I didn't say that I wouldn't take any pictures or film any videos. That was that night. That was the other night. I was laying down. She said, okay, well, I just saw you enjoying the sunset. So I thought maybe I didn't want to disturb that. But he takes it as another opportunity to dig into her ass yet again and say, well, you should have asked me. And this is the whole name of this episode is No Hug for You. And this is what happens in this scene. She says, okay, well, I apologize. Can I get a hug? He's like, no, you can't get a hug. He was dead wrong there because she was trying. He knows this girl is very easily triggered, okay, when she feels rejected. And for him to say, no, I'm not going to give you a hug, even though she clearly was trying to either gaslight him or be considerate of his feelings. If you don't know, then why would you automatically attack her for that? You did go off on her the last time she asked you to take a picture. So maybe she's got a little bit of PTSD about that. But I do feel like Lindy could have said, hey, I want another picture. Is it going to be an issue? Or can, okay, cool. Here you go. Here's the camera. If she had just done that, she probably would have avoided this. But that's her point. She doesn't know. So yet again, Miguel was crying like a little baby. And then we've got the 4th one. The game. The dodgeball game. Everybody kind of gave Miguel a little bit of shit. They beat him up with the balls a little bit, and Lindy was enjoying it. They probably did that to kind of get him back for giving her so much shit. But he took it as an opportunity to take it out yet again on Lindy. Walking away from her. I'm on your team. Why aren't you on my team? Okay, when they chose teams, they purposely separated the couples. And the fact that she was purposely put on a different team, it's called a competition, Miguel. So you took it as an opportunity to turn it into a marital issue and say, oh, you're not on my team now. I'm on your team. Why aren't you on my team? We're not talking about your marriage. We're talking about a fucking dodgeball game. But yet and still, because gas was in his drawers this weekend, he took it as another opportunity to gaslight Mindy. Honestly, I was expecting her at some point to slap the living shit out of him. I thought she was going to go off on him. And a couple times she started kind of giggling like, babe, I don't know. You driving me crazy. You know that girl ain't right. Why were you trying to take her there? You know, I thought he was being very sadistic this weekend because she was trying. And I will give it up for her. She did not give him the satisfaction of losing her cool. She lost it in the way that she was crying. And let's take a look at that for a minute. Because next week, they show where he's talking to somebody and he's like, I don't know if this is going to work. And she was confiding in the rest of the crew where she was, and she started crying. Instead of her going off on him, she started crying. Now, here's my thing. I'm starting to see a different side of Lindy. I'm starting to see who I think Lindy really, truly is as a person. And I'm also starting to see who I think Miguel truly is as a person. Miguel's got an attitude, and he has managed to hide it for some time now. But Miguel is very moody, and he's got an attitude. But Lindy uses the defenses or the defensiveness as a defense mechanism. I think who she really is somebody whose feelings are very easily hurt, and she's not this badass bitch that she's trying to portray herself to be. But she throws that out there so that you have caution when you're dealing with her, because you don't know if she's going to go off on you. I think Miguel probably read that and said, you know what, that's not who she truly is, and I'm going to prove it. And not once did she go off on him this weekend. She cried because she's into him. You know, she's really into him. So she took everything that he had to give, and she did not go off not one time and start throwing shit and get all mad. She didn't do that. So he showed her his worst side, and she was still there for it. You know, she cried a little bit, but she was still there for it. So I don't know. Maybe they'll work it out. I think that in the end, they'll learn how to compromise with each other. I think it was good for her to see that side of him, because now she knows it's there. He certainly knows she's got an evil side. So she saw his Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde this weekend. And who knows, maybe they will work it out, and maybe things will work out for them, you know? So I'm going to go ahead and cut this short because we didn't really have anybody in here tonight. If anybody's listening, guys, thank you. I appreciate you guys for listening. And yeah, I hope Lindy and Miguel make it. I hope Justin basically grows a set in the bedroom and gives Alexis what she wants. I hope that Nate and Stasha continue on the path that they're on, and I hope Mitch and Kristen continue on the path that they're on. So thank you for listening. Peace out, and everybody have a good night.